Never give up. There will be moments in life when everything seems to be against you. When the path ahead is filled with obstacles and the weight of the world feels too heavy to carry. When you're exhausted, when doubt creeps in, and when the finish line feels impossibly far away. In those moments, it's easy to consider giving up, to throw in the towel and walk away. But the most powerful thing you can do in the face of adversity is to choose to never give up. Never giving up doesn't mean never feeling defeated. It doesn't mean you won't experience moments of doubt or discouragement. It means that despite those feelings, you continue moving forward. It's about finding the strength to rise every time you fall. Life will test you, push you to your limits, and sometimes even break you. But the true measure of strength is not in how many times you get knocked down. It's in how many times you get back up. When you refuse to give up, you take control of your narrative. You refuse to let the circumstances define you. It's easy to give up when things are hard, to walk away when the going gets tough. But the greatest victories often come at the end of the hardest battles. It is when you press on in the face of adversity, when you keep going even when every part of you wants to quit, that you uncover your true potential. Remember, the road to success is rarely a straight path. There will be detours, setbacks, and delays. You may not reach your destination as quickly as you'd like, but that doesn't mean you won't get there. Keep your focus on the bigger picture. Understand that each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. It's not the speed of your journey that matters, but the persistence to keep moving. When you feel like giving up, think about the reasons why you started in the first place. Reflect on the dreams you hold in your heart, the goals that drive you, and the people who depend on you. Remember that your journey is about more than just you. It's about the legacy you leave, the lessons you learn, and the person you become along the way. Every challenge, every struggle is shaping you into someone stronger, more capable, and more prepared for what's ahead. There is an immense power in perseverance. It's what allows you to transform failure into a stepping stone, disappointment into a lesson, and pain into strength. The moments when you feel like quitting are often the moments just before breakthrough. Keep pushing, even when the road is unclear. Trust that you are stronger than the obstacles in front of you, and that with each step, you are getting closer to your goal. So never give up. Even when things feel impossible, remember that you have the strength to keep going. Your journey may not be easy, but it will be worth it. The reward is not just in the destination, but in the courage, resilience, and wisdom you gain along the way. Keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. You are capable of achieving more than you realize. And the only thing standing between you and your dreams is your decision to never give up. Replace fear with courage. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold us back. It creeps into our minds and whispers lies of doubt, telling us that we are not enough, that we are incapable, that failure is inevitable. It can paralyze us, making us hesitate at the very moment we need to act, keeping us from stepping into the future we are meant to create. Fear will always be present. It is a natural part of being human. But the question is, will we allow fear to control us, or will we choose to rise above it with courage? Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to move forward despite fear. It's taking that first step even when you're uncertain about where the path will lead. It's trusting that even though the road ahead may be difficult, you have what it takes to navigate it. Courage doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you won't let it define you or stop you. Fear often stems from the unknown, from situations where we feel out of control. We fear what might happen, what others might think, or how we might fail. But courage isn't about having all the answers. It's about taking action in the face of uncertainty. It's about understanding that the very act of stepping out of your comfort zone is where growth begins. When fear arises, ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Often the worst is not as bad as we imagine. And even if we fail, failure is not the end. Failure is a lesson, a stepping stone toward success. Each misstep is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. Courage is knowing that no matter what happens, you will be okay. You will rise again. To replace fear with courage, you must first face your fears. Look them in the eye and acknowledge them. There is power in naming what scares you because it takes away its hold over you. Fear thrives in secrecy, in the unknown. When you shine the light of awareness on it, it shrinks. And when you choose to move forward despite it, you begin to weaken its power over your life. Another key to replacing fear with courage is perspective. Fear often arises when we focus only on the challenges ahead, without seeing the strengths we carry within. Reflect on your past victories. Think about the times you faced difficulties before and overcome them. You are still standing today because you've been through struggles before and came out stronger. Remind yourself of your resilience. You have the courage to handle whatever comes next because you've already proven it to yourself. Surround yourself with courage as well. The people you spend time with can either fuel your fears or inspire your courage. Choose to be around those who lift you up, who challenge you to take bold steps, who encourage you to keep going when fear tries to stop you. Courage is contagious, and when you are surrounded by brave souls, you begin to see fear for what it truly is. An obstacle, not a permanent roadblock. In the end, courage is a decision. It's a choice to keep moving forward, to face the unknown with confidence, and to trust that you have everything within you to handle what comes your way. Fear will always be a part of the journey, but courage will always be the force that drives you to keep going. So choose courage over fear. Step forward even when you feel afraid. Your strength and growth lie on the other side of fear, and the moment you choose courage, you take the first step toward your breakthrough. Shush, hush, hush. Let your pain shape you, not break you. Pain is an inevitable part of life. It is a constant companion, whether it comes from loss, disappointment, failure, or heartache. No one is immune to it, and sometimes it feels as though it's more than we can bear. In these moments, it's easy to feel broken, to believe that the weight of our suffering will crush us. But the truth is that pain doesn't have to break us. In fact, if we allow it, pain can shape us into something stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The first step in letting pain shape us is to accept it. We often try to run from pain to numb it or deny it, but doing so only prolongs its grip on us. Pain is a natural part of the human experience, and though it may be uncomfortable, it is also a teacher. Instead of resisting it, we must learn to embrace it as part of our journey. By acknowledging our pain, we give ourselves permission to heal. Pain also provides an opportunity for growth. Every struggle, no matter how difficult, has the potential to refine us. It can sharpen our character, develop our resilience, and deepen our empathy for others. When we face hardship, we often learn things about ourselves that we never would have discovered in easier times. We learn what we're truly made of, how strong we can be, how much we can endure, and how we can rise again after a fall. It's important to understand that pain doesn't have to define us. Just because we experience suffering doesn't mean we are broken beyond repair. Pain may change us, but it doesn't have to leave us less than we were before. It's how we respond to pain that determines its impact. We can choose to let it consume us, to allow it to make us bitter, or we can choose to let it teach us, to allow it to make us better. Pain has the power to harden our hearts or to soften them. It has the power to lead us toward despair or to lead us toward hope. The decision is ours. When we allow pain to shape us, we learn to rise after every fall. We begin to see pain not as something to avoid, but as something to be used to propel us forward. Just like the sculptor chisels away at a block of marble to reveal the beauty inside. Pain can chip away at our weaknesses and reveal the strength we never knew we had. It strips away the superficial layers, exposing the heart of who we truly are, resilient, capable, and stronger than we ever imagined. And it's also essential to remember that pain is temporary. The dark nights may seem endless, but dawn always comes. Just as the seasons change, so too will your pain evolve. It may not disappear immediately, but in time, it will lessen. And as it does, you will find yourself standing taller with a deeper understanding of your own strength. What once seemed insurmountable will eventually become a testimony to your resilience. The pain you feel today will one day be the very thing that proves how far you've come. So, when pain comes into your life, and it will, choose to let it shape you, not break you. Allow it to teach you, to build you, and to help you grow into the person you are meant to be. Pain does not have to be the end of the road. It can be the beginning of a new chapter, one that is filled with strength, wisdom, and an unshakable belief in your ability to overcome. Let your pain refine you, and let it be a reminder of how capable you are of rising stronger from the hardest of battles. Choose to persevere. Perseverance is the quality that separates those who give up from those who achieve victory. It's easy to stand strong when life is kind, when everything is falling into place, and when the path ahead seems clear. But true strength is revealed in the moments when everything feels impossible. It's in those moments when the temptation to quit is strongest that perseverance becomes the key to overcoming the struggle. Perseverance isn't about having all the answers or knowing exactly how things will turn out. It's about showing up day after day, even when the road is long and the end isn't in sight. It's about continuing to put one foot in front of the other, even when the weight of your challenges feels unbearable. The decision to persevere is a choice, a decision to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles in your way. Life is filled with unexpected twists and turns. We all face setbacks, disappointments, and heartbreaks. But it's not the setbacks that define us, it's how we respond to them. Every time we choose to keep going despite the odds, we build the strength and resilience that prepare us for the next challenge. With each small step forward, we gain more courage, more endurance, and more clarity on what we are truly capable of. Perseverance doesn't mean we won't feel the weight of our struggles. It doesn't mean that we won't experience pain, frustration, or doubt. But it means that we will not allow those feelings to control us. We choose to rise above them. We choose to move forward even when it's hard, even when we don't feel like it, and even when we don't see the immediate rewards. We keep going because we know that every step is a victory in itself. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when the weight of the world presses down on your shoulders and it seems easier to walk away than to face another challenge. But in those moments, remember this: you are stronger than you think. You have already made it through every hard day in your life up to this point. And you can make it through this one too. Perseverance is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. It is in the moments when you feel like giving up that perseverance does its greatest work. It's in the face of adversity that we discover what we are truly made of. So make the choice to persevere. No matter what you're facing, no matter how tough it gets, keep going. Keep fighting. Every day you continue forward, no matter how small the step, is a victory. Keep your eyes on the goal and trust that your perseverance will lead you to the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Your story is not over yet. There is so much more ahead. Surround yourself with the right people. We are not meant to walk through life alone. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on how we handle the challenges we face. In times of difficulty, the right people can be the difference between succumbing to despair and rising to meet the battle head-on. This is why it's so important to choose carefully who we allow into our lives and how we let them influence us. The people around you can either lift you up or drag you down. In the midst of your toughest battles, you need to be surrounded by those who inspire strength, not those who perpetuate fear. There are enough voices in the world that tell you to give up, that remind you of your limitations, that feed your doubts. But the right people, those who genuinely care about you, will be the ones who remind you of your potential, who encourage you to keep going when you feel like stopping, and who stand beside you even when the storm is at its fiercest. Having the right people around you doesn't mean only being with those who agree with you or tell you what you want to hear. True support comes from those who challenge you, who help you grow, who speak truth into your life even when it's uncomfortable. They are the ones who see your weaknesses but still believe in your strength. They are the ones who walk with you through the fire and stand by your side when the road is tough. They remind you that you don't have to face the battle alone. We must also be intentional about cutting ties with negative influences that only drag us down. Life is too short to spend time with those who bring nothing but criticism, negativity, and doubt. The energy of those around us affects our mindset and ultimately our ability to persevere. If you are constantly surrounded by people who feed your fears and limit your vision, it becomes much harder to believe in your own strength and potential. Surrounding yourself with the right people means finding those who believe in you, who support your dreams, and who are willing to stand with you in your darkest moments. These are the people who will not just watch you struggle, but will roll up their sleeves and walk alongside you, lifting you up when you fall and celebrating your victories with you when you rise. They are the ones who pray with you, encourage you, and remind you of your worth when you forget. When you are surrounded by a community that believes in you and supports you, you can weather any storm. Your strength doesn't just come from within, it also comes from the relationships you cultivate. So choose wisely. Be around people who challenge you to be better, who push you toward growth, and who stand firm with you, especially when life gets tough. With the right people by your side, no battle will ever feel too big to face. Control what you can, surrender what you can't. In life, there are countless things we cannot control. The actions of others, the challenges that come our way, the unexpected twists and turns that seem to disrupt our best laid plans. These things are often beyond our influence. And yet it's all too easy to spend our energy trying to control everything around us, trying to manage the uncontrollable. But the truth is, this only leads to frustration and exhaustion. The key to finding peace in the midst of life's struggles is learning to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. We cannot control every circumstance, but we can control how we respond to them. We cannot control the outcome of every situation, but we can control the effort and attitude we bring to each moment. It is in this understanding that true strength lies. Focus on what you can control, the actions you take, the thoughts you nurture, the decisions you make. In every situation, you have the power to choose how you will respond. You can choose to face challenges with courage, to remain hopeful in the face of adversity, and to keep moving forward even when the road seems uncertain. You can control the amount of effort you put into your goals, the way you treat others, and the mindset you adopt. These are the things that, when managed with intention, will shape your journey. But there are also things you cannot control, no matter how much you wish you could. You cannot control the behavior of others, nor can you always change your circumstances. You cannot stop the rain from falling or the wind from blowing. There will always be forces outside of your control that you cannot change. And it is in these moments that surrender becomes vital. Surrendering does not mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control what you cannot. It's about trusting that there is a greater plan at work, even when you can't see the bigger picture. Surrendering is a recognition that you don't have to bear the weight of the world on your shoulders alone. There is a peace that comes when you let go of the things you can't change and trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. Surrendering also means trusting in your own resilience. You have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. While you can't control every outcome, you can control your faith and your ability to navigate whatever challenges life throws at you. And when you trust in yourself and in a higher purpose, surrendering becomes a freeing act. You don't have to carry everything. Let go of what isn't yours to carry and allow space for peace to enter your heart. Life is a delicate balance of action and surrender. We are called to take responsibility for what is within our control and to trust the rest to a higher power. When we learn this balance, we find a sense of calm even in the most chaotic of storms. Control what you can, surrender what you can't, and watch how your life transforms from one of struggle to one of peace and strength. Stand on unshakable faith. When the storms of life rage and the ground beneath us trembles, it is our faith that holds us steady. It's easy to stand firm when everything is going well, when the sun is shining and the path is clear. But true strength emerges when the winds howl, when uncertainty surrounds us, and when the road ahead is uncertain. In those moments, faith is what keeps us grounded. Faith is not a mere belief in the absence of trouble, but a deep assurance that even in the darkest moments, we are not alone. We are not alone. It is the quiet confidence that no matter how fierce the storm, we are held in hands that are stronger than any trial we face. When the world tells us to panic, faith whispers to us, "You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken." In the toughest battles, faith doesn't always remove the challenge. In fact, sometimes it allows us to walk through the storm rather than avoiding it. But that's where the power of faith lies. It does not promise us an easy road, but it assures us that we have the strength to endure it. Faith empowers us to keep moving forward even when we cannot see the way ahead. Faith also brings perspective. When the struggles of life overwhelm us, it's easy to focus only on the problem, but faith reminds us to lift our eyes beyond the present moment. Faith tells us that the trials we face are not the end of the story. There is a bigger picture at work, one that we might not yet understand, but that is unfolding with purpose. Just as a tree's roots grow deeper in times of drought, our faith grows stronger through hardship. It is in these moments that we are forced to dig deeper, to trust more fully, and to rely less on our own strength and more on the strength of the one who is greater than any obstacle. So, when life's trials come, and they will stand on the unshakable foundation of faith, let it be the rock beneath your feet, the anchor that holds you steady, and the light that guides you through the darkest days. Hush. Focus on the bigger picture. In the midst of life's toughest battles, it's easy to get consumed by the immediate challenges we face. The pain, the fear, the uncertainty, they can dominate our thoughts and cloud our vision. But if we allow ourselves to be trapped in the narrow view of our current circumstances, we risk missing the larger story that is unfolding. It's essential to lift our eyes and see beyond the present struggle. When we're in the middle of a storm, it's hard to understand why it's happening or what good can come of it. We may feel as though we are stuck in a never-ending struggle, unable to see any end in sight. But every hardship, every challenge is a small chapter in a much bigger story, one that is being written with purpose, even if we can't see all the details yet. This larger picture may not be clear at first, but trust that there is a purpose behind the pain. Every step, every trial shapes us in ways we can't fully comprehend in the moment. What seems like an obstacle today might just be preparing us for something greater in the future. The experiences we go through, though painful at the time, equip us for the person we are becoming. Think of the great figures in history who endured trials far greater than anything we could imagine. What if they had given up in the midst of their struggles? What if they had allowed their present suffering to define them? The stories that inspire us most often come from those who persevered through adversity, who kept going despite not understanding why they were facing such hardships. They kept moving forward, knowing that the fight they were in wasn't the end of their story. It was merely part of it. We must also remember that life isn't just about us. Our battles don't just affect us, they affect those around us. The struggles we face have the potential to impact others in ways we might never fully see. Our perseverance, our strength in the face of adversity, can be the very thing that encourages others to keep going. In the bigger picture, our struggles can serve a greater purpose than we ever imagined. Draw strength from hope. Hope is the quiet force that keeps us moving when everything else tells us to stop. When life's challenges weigh us down and the future seems uncertain, hope becomes the lifeline that pulls us forward, even when we can't see the way. It is a gift that sustains us when we are weary, and a light that shines through the darkest of nights. Hope isn't about ignoring the reality of our struggles or pretending everything is okay. It's not about turning a blind eye to the pain we face. Rather, hope is about choosing to believe that beyond the struggle, there is something greater waiting for us. It's about seeing the potential for good in the midst of hardship and trusting that this season will pass, even when the road feels long and uncertain. Hope gives us the courage to take another step when we feel like giving up. It reminds us that the story isn't over yet. No matter how dark the moment, hope tells us that the dawn is coming. It's like a flame in the night, small but steady, offering warmth and direction. As long as we hold on to hope, we can face whatever comes our way, knowing that there is a purpose behind the struggle. Hope is also a reminder that we are never truly alone. Even in our most isolating moments, hope connects us to something greater than ourselves. It connects us to the possibility of a future, to the belief that there are better days ahead. Hope ties us to the promise that things can and will change, no matter how impossible it might seem. Sometimes hope is found in the smallest of things. The support of a friend, a kind word, a memory of better days, or a simple act of grace. These small reminders can reignite the hope that we may have lost sight of. In these moments, hope becomes not just a feeling, but a decision. It's choosing to believe that what we are going through right now is not the end, but a chapter in a greater story. Hope is powerful because it fuels our endurance. It tells us that we can keep going, that the fight is worth it, and that the finish line is within reach even when we can't see it. It helps us remember that every challenge we face is temporary and that growth and victory are born out of the very struggles we're enduring today. So no matter what you're facing, hold fast to hope. Let it fuel your strength. Let it lift your spirit. Hope is not a distant dream, but a present reality that will carry you through whatever battles lie ahead. When everything else seems uncertain, hope is the anchor that keeps you steady. Trust in it, draw from it, and let it lead you toward the brighter days that are coming. So when the challenges of life weigh heavy on your heart, take a step back. Look beyond the storm, beyond the immediate pain, and remind yourself that there is a greater purpose at work. Trust that your story is not defined by this moment, but by how you rise above it. The bigger picture is unfolding, and you are a part of it, whether you see it now or not. Keep going, because this struggle is just one page in a much greater story of victory, growth, and triumph. Ladies and gentlemen, we all face battles in life. Trials that shake our faith, storms that test our strength, and hardships that seem impossible to bear. Maybe you're facing a crisis in your family, a financial struggle, or a burden that no one else understands. But I'm here to tell you today that no matter how dark the night, there is always a dawn. No matter how strong the storm, you have the power to stand firm. That's acknowledge the reality of struggles. Life is not easy. We were never promised a smooth road, but we were given the strength to walk it. The truth is, pain and suffering are part of life, but they do not define us. Each one of us faces battles, some seen, some hidden. Some hidden, there are moments when the weight of life feels unbearable, when trials seem to come one after another with no relief in sight. Maybe you felt the sting of loss, the agony of disappointment, or the struggle of uncertainty. You're not alone in this. Hardships do not mean you are forgotten, and challenges do not mean you are abandoned. It is easy to believe that difficulties are a sign that something is wrong. We ask, why me, or what did I do to deserve this? But the reality is that struggles are part of the human experience. No one escapes them. They come to the rich and the poor, the young and the old, the strong and the weak. They are not a punishment, but a process, one that, if we allow it, can strengthen and refine us. We must first acknowledge that pain is real. Denying it, ignoring it, or pretending it doesn't exist will not make it disappear. We cannot fight a battle we refuse to admit is happening. When we face our struggles with honesty, we take the first step toward overcoming them. Strength is not pretending that everything is fine. Strength is looking at the challenge before us and saying, Many of history's greatest overcomers were people who faced tremendous trials but refused to be defeated by them. They did not avoid hardship, they confronted it. They did not run from their struggles, they endured them. And in the end, their challenges became the very things that prepared them for their greatest victories. So today, do not fear the trials that come your way. Acknowledge them, face them, and remember that within every struggle lies the opportunity to rise stronger than before. Haggon, stand on unshakable faith when the storms of life rage and the ground beneath us trembles. It is our faith that holds us steady. It's easy to stand firm when everything is going well, when the sun is shining and the path is clear. But true strength emerges when the winds howl, when uncertainty surrounds us, and when the road ahead is uncertain. In those moments, faith is what keeps us grounded. Faith is not a mere belief in the absence of trouble, but a deep assurance that even in the darkest moments, we are not alone. It is the quiet confidence that no matter how fierce the storm, we are held in hands that are stronger than any trial we face. When the world tells us to panic, faith whispers to us, "You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken." In the toughest battles, faith doesn't always remove the challenge. In fact, sometimes it allows us to walk through the storm rather than avoiding it. But that's where the power of faith lies. It does not promise us an easy road, but it assures us that we have the strength to endure it. Faith empowers us to keep moving forward even when we cannot see the way ahead. Faith also brings perspective. When the struggles of life overwhelm us, it's easy to focus only on the problem, but faith reminds us to lift our eyes beyond the present moment. Faith tells us that the trials we face are not the end of the story. There is a bigger picture at work, one that we might not yet understand, but that is unfolding with purpose. Just as a tree's roots grow deeper in times of drought, our faith grows stronger through hardship. It is in these moments that we are forced to dig deeper, to trust more fully, and to rely less on our own strength and more on the strength of the one who is greater than any obstacle. So when life's trials come, and they will, stand on the unshakable foundation of faith. Let it be the rock beneath your feet, the anchor that holds you steady, and the light that guides you through the darkest days.